Hello everyone, my name is Lavender and I'm happy to present a research finding in our living memory home study conducted at Wan-Jou Medical College. Around 5 years ago, we published an online self-diagnostic tool for grief on our website. It basically attracts up to 12,000 visitors per year, and a lot of users email back and ask for more self-help tools like this. So coincidentally, our past study and experiences show that individuals with more intense or prolonged grief symptoms are often hesitant to seek support from mental health professionals or public space, but they're willing to use our website. This triggers a series of efforts to co-design and develop digital grief resources that are empirically validated and openly accessible for grievers. So Living Memory Home represents our effort in mediating the continuing emotional bonds between the deceased loved ones and survivors through technology. Using Living Memory Home as a design probe, the research objective is to explore design opportunities and challenges to facilitate backstage grieving, helping people to continue bonding with the deceased as a way of coping. As we have described, we want to allow users to create a personalized space for their grief and deceased loved one. Users will first set up a home by selecting the images that relate to them, and then they will move on to design their memorial space. So in the memorial space, they are given options such as candles and flowers to design it. They can also upload photos. So users later move on to the writing exercise. In the writing desk section, users are asked to write about their post-loss life and memories about the deceased person. And we prompt them with some questions derived from the grief literature, such as what I have always wanted to tell you is and what you never understood was. We recruited 20 participants in New York City, 9 male and 11 female with the age ranging from 22 to 69. Out of the participants were asked to use Living Memory Home for 1 month. Before the study, we used page 13 to screen the grief intensity of our participants and found out that 4 of them were experiencing the syndromal level of grief and 16 of them were going through the normal grief course. In total, 70 participants agreed to join our post-study user experience interview. The interview was recorded and transcribed completely, and the data analyzed using thematic analysis approach. At the beginning of our interview, we tried to understand how technology is used in front stage and backstage grief. Around half of our participants mentioned sharing their loss experiences and memories on social media such as Facebook or Instagram. Around 3 say that they prefer to direct message or call their close family members or friends to talk about it. In particular, up to 6 participants actually dislike the idea of disclosing grief on the internet. They feel it's not genuine and people who are not close to them enough would not understand. So in total, we discovered 4 themes from the study. The first theme shows that there is a need for digital grief to be a private affair. Our participants reported feeling good seeing people like their posts or leaving comments on the social media, but they also feel that in order to get more likes, they have to selectively post the stories or memories that are positive or not sounding too emotionally breakdown, but it does not represent the overall picture of their grief experiences. It tend to be shallow or just superficial. And in addition, mourners do have negative grief experiences, but they find it overwhelming to keep it to themselves. It's just that they fear to disclose them to the public. And Living Memory Home actually provided the space that allowed them to manage this relatively negative narratives. They can vent their anger towards a loved one who died of suicide. They were angry, or express their relief of no longer having to care for a chronically ill family member. So Backstage Grief also supports users to integrate the memories or lessons from the deceased into their ongoing life. Participants would say something like, I have been attacked on the street, and while I felt frustrated, I actually started thinking about how my dad will react to it. It shows that by integrating the memories into their ongoing life, they are relinking the past to the present and enhancing the bonds between them and the deceased loved ones. And the final theme touches upon the deepest fear of our mourners, the fear of forgetting. As much as the mourners struggle to cope with grief, they dislike the idea of moving on or letting go. A lot of them find it important but stressful to have to keep the memories with them and alive. The Living Memory Home provides this kind of venue to deposit their memories in a safe place and they can revisit whenever they wish. As we've noticed, front stage interaction is largely designed to nurture positive community and positive self-presentation, which may fail to provide spaces for users wishing to open up emotionally on deeply personal matters. We believe that backstage grief should be considered to provide a deeper and self-paced continuing bonds in digital space, or to keep the intenseful inheritance such as values and beliefs alive. In the end, we also identify the potential risk of users feeling stuck in the past or feeling too early to confront their emotions using Living Memory Home. Thank you for your attention.